Before you write me off as a conspiracy theorist whack job who's ready to be fitted for my tinfoil hat, stay with me for a second. If I told you that I don't believe we went to the moon, what do you think would be the typical mainstream response? Now, I've had several discussions with people about the moon landing, and it seems like 100% of the time when I say I don't believe we landed on the moon, all people seem to hear me saying is, we never went to the moon. When I never said we never went to the moon, all I said was, I don't believe we went to the moon. I don't vainly imagine myself to have all the answers in regard to these things too lofty for me to understand. But I do reserve for myself the liberty of slowing things down and not accepting things just because supposed credible and popular sources say things are a certain way when they may not be. Matter of fact, usually when an opinion is popular, that's a pretty good indication that if the masses are following after it, it's more than likely wrong. For someone to say, I believe we did send people to the moon and men walked on the moon, that's a statement of faith. It's not a statement based on observable, demonstrable fact. If you believe we went to the moon, it's just that, a belief. And you have to be honest with that. You're not stating your position because you were personally a part of the mission and saw this historic event with your own eyes. You're saying it because someone told you and showed you what they claim to be evidence of the moon landing. And you put your faith in what they said and in the footage you saw. Governments lie to their people all the time for various reasons and sometimes for no apparent reason at all. For example, they lie to us every time they want to lead us into another war. So why wouldn't they lie to us about all the supposed accomplishments of NASA? If you ask the average person why they believe man landed on the moon, I'm sure most of them would tell you, because I saw the footage of Neil Armstrong jumping off the lander and making that historic first step. And then I heard those famous words.
I'm going to step off the limb. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Now, if you ask them if it's possible that that all could have been staged, if they're honest with themselves, they would have to say, yeah, it could all be staged. Therefore, no one except the people intimately involved in that event can say for an absolute fact that mankind has walked on the moon, because there's always a possibility that we've been lied to. And if it's true that we didn't go to the moon, I'm sure there are many people that were involved in that operation who had absolutely no idea what was really going on. Just because you don't believe a story the way government agencies or corporate media outlets tell them doesn't mean that you're saying you know exactly what happened or didn't happen. You're just letting people know that you understand what's being said, but you don't buy into it. It could be true and it could be false. On a lot of these things, we really have no way of knowing for certain. It's all about being honest with yourself in your own heart. Polonius in Hamlet makes an absolutely piercing statement that I think we all can learn from. To thine own self be true. If you can't be honest with yourself, you sure as heck can't be honest with others, which is pretty much what the rest of the Polonius quote says. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Basically, be true to yourself and you'll be true to others. There are enough falsehoods and lies in this world. We don't need to make things worse by continuing to add to it because we parrot things we don't know are true or not. And this brings me to this guy, Buzz Aldrin. I've had a lot of people send me this video telling me that Aldrin finally came clean and admitted that they never went to the moon. Here's the clip that's making its rounds on the internet. Take a look, listen closely to what he's saying in the context of the little girl's question, and let's talk about it.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and then what thousands, millions of people in America, and millions of people around the world. You know, when we toured around the world after we came back.
This is the original video. It was published on September 15th, 2015 by the YouTube channel The Roarbots. The context is this little girl Zoe asking Buzz Aldrin questions about himself and his supposed profession at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. on September 5th, 2015. The segment I showed you is just under 2 minutes long and is part of this 17-minute, 22-second video. Zoe's question is, why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time? The first thing he says is, 'cause we didn't go there. And of course the natural reaction is, wait, what the heck did he just say? She asked basically, why haven't we been back to the moon? And he's answering, 'cause we didn't go there. So we haven't been back because we never went is what people are taking away from this. Now let me be clear, guys. I'm one of those people who does not buy the NASA sales pitch that we went to the moon. I do not believe we went to the moon. And I can see why people would be quick to focus on this segment of the video. When something seems to fit what you believe or don't believe, you want to latch onto it. And I don't think that's a wise approach. But I do think two things need to be considered when watching this video: the context of the girl's question and Aldrin's mental state. If you haven't watched the entire video, and from the comments I've seen, a lot of people haven't taken the time to do that, you'll notice something about Aldrin as he attempts to interact with this little girl. It really seems like Buzz is buzzed on something. It's obvious that he's having trouble forming sentences, using the right words, and he's especially having problems using the right word usage. Here's just one example. In trying to answer Zoe's question, what would it be like to have a home on the moon or Mars, Aldrin basically says it's inhospitable, inconvenient, and expensive. Then he says this:
We may want to be thinking about a growing number of people. And if you keep bringing people back, you're not going to have a growing civilization. So that's kind of the ultimate goal. Now, what will they do? Well, we have to keep interesting the people who are paying the bills, or they won't keep paying the bills.
Keep interesting the people who are paying the bills, or they won't keep paying the bills. That's kind of a weird way to say that, but contextually, what he's basically trying to say, and doing a crummy job at it, is that NASA needs to keep the interest of Americans, or the tax cattle, not his words but mine, are going to wonder where all their money's going, and they'll object to having all the revenue going toward a program that isn't producing any results. And this is just one example of how Aldrin struggles to communicate during this 17-minute interview. Maybe he's drunk, maybe he's taking medication, maybe he's suffering from Alzheimer's or struggling with some other medical issue. Heck, maybe he doesn't know how to communicate with little kids. But if you watch this thing all the way through, you'll see that there's something definitely not right about Aldrin's state of mind. As for the clip everybody's talking about, he does say, "'cause we didn't go there." But check out the context of not only the question, but the context of the rest of what he says. And that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, if what didn't happen? The context of the question is going back to the moon. It's nice to know why it didn't happen. What didn't happen? Going back to the moon. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something like going to the moon, we need to know why something stopped. What stopped? Going back to the moon. We need to know why something stopped in the past and we wanted to keep it going. Keep what going? keep going to the moon. Then basically, he gives her the answer. Money. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And the other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and what was that? Going to the moon.
The exploration of space will go ahead. Whether we join in it or not, we mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
And then what thousands and millions of people in America and millions of people around the world, you know, when we toured around the world after we came back from where? Came back from the moon. To me, guys, the "'cause we didn't go there" looks like he means because we didn't go back there. I personally don't think he let the cat out of the bag. For all we know, he could be a mind control patient and he actually believes he went to the moon. I don't know. Other than in the first part of the video where Aldrin says he, Armstrong, and Collins succeeded in making the first moon landing, the other reason I don't think he was saying he didn't go to the moon is this clip from the same video.
The most fascinating observation was signs that said, we did it. Not just us, not just America, but we, the world, different countries. They felt like they were part of what we were able to do, and that made us feel very good.
The most fascinating observation was signs that said we did it. Not just us, not just America, but we, the world, different countries. They felt like they were a part of what we were able to do. And the context is going to the moon. And that made us feel very good. As for NASA needing more money to do more things, if their plundering of the American people to the tune of over $50 million every single day isn't enough money to get something done, then there will never be enough money. We would do well to defund the scam space program, throw together a voluntary defense force, and prosecute the criminal international bankers. But of course, I'm just dreaming now. What would have been an interesting question Zoe's dad could have had her ask is, "Hey Buzz, how the heck did you guys make it through the Van Allen radiation belt there and back with 1960s equipment without dying or at least getting really, really sick?" Guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to visit the shirt store, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.